ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Namaste my dear friends. In this video I am going to explain how do we feel pain and sorrow biologically, and further explanation of experiencing pain and sorrow according to Advaita Vedanta. How pain and sorrow are caused, and how the feeling of pain and sorrow can be eliminated altogether through spiritual sadhanas according to Advaita Vedanta. First, let us learn about feeling pain and sorrow biologically. Pain and sorrow, like other emotional and sensory experiences, have biologically underpinnings in the human body. Let us explore how these emotions are processed and experienced biologically. Pain, nervous system, and pain receptors. Nociceptors, these are specialized nerve cells often found in the skin and other tissues designed to detect harmful stimuli or potential damage to the body. Nerve signals. When tissue is damaged, nociceptors send electrical signals along nerve pathways to the spinal cord and then to the brain, indicating the presence of pain. Neurotransmitters, chemical messengers like serotonin and glutamate play a role in transmitting these pain signals between nerve cells. Brain processing. Thalamus. Pain signals are first relayed to the thalamus, a part of the brain that acts as a sensory relay station. Brain regions. The brain processes pain in various regions, including the somatosensory cortex, responsible for processing physical sensations, the limbic system associated with emotions, and the prefrontal cortex related to higher cognitive functions and the experience of suffering. Emotional aspect. Limbic system. The limbic system, including the amygdala, is involved in processing emotions. It can intensify the emotional experience of pain, leading to feelings of distress, fear, and suffering. Sorrow, emotional pain, neurotransmitters and hormones. Neurotransmitters, chemicals like serotonin, dopamine, and oxytocin are involved in regulating mood and emotions. Hormones. Stress hormones like cortisol can affect emotional states and contribute to feelings of sadness and sorrow. Brain circuits. amygdala. This almond-shaped part of the brain is crucial in processing emotions, including negative ones like fear and sadness. Prefrontal cortex. The prefrontal cortex plays a role in regulating emotions and controlling impulsive responses. It can modulate emotional responses to mitigate sorrow, neuroplasticity, and chronic sorrow. Neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to recognize itself. Chronic emotional pain can lead to changes in neural pathways, amplifying feelings of sorrow and making it harder to overcome. Genetic and environmental factors. Genetic predisposition. Genetic factors can influence how individuals respond to emotional stimuli, making some people more prone to experiencing intense sorrow. Environmental triggers, traumatic events, loss, social isolation, or chronic stress can trigger and exacerbate feelings of sorrow. Conclusion. In summary, pain and sorrow have complex biological foundations involving the nervous system, neurotransmitters, brain regions, genetic predispositions, and environmental factors. Understanding the biological basis of these emotions provide insights into how they are experienced, processed, and in some cases managed. Chronic pain and emotional suffering, neuroinflammation, neuroinflammation, chronic pain, persistent pain conditions can lead to neuroinflammation in the nervous system. This chronic inflammation can sensitize pain pathways, amplifying pain signals and contributing to prolonged suffering. Emotional impact. Neuroinflammation can also affect brain regions involved in emotional regulation, leading to increased susceptibility to mood disorders, including depression and anxiety, which often coexist with chronic pain. Endorphins and pain modulation. Endorphins, the body's natural painkillers. Endorphins bind to opioid receptors in the brain and spinal cord. Physical activity, laughter, and positive social interactions trigger the release of endorphins. Emotional well being. Engaging in activities that boost endorphin levels can alleviate both physical pain and emotional distress, enhancing overall well being. Social pain and sorrow, social rejection and opioid system. Social pain, social rejection or exclusion can activate brain regions associated with physical pain. The brain's opioid system, which includes receptors for pain relief, is involved in modulating social pain. Overlap of systems. The overlap between neural circuits for physical pain and social pain demonstrates the deep connection between emotional sorrow and the physical sensation of pain. Mirror neurons and empathy. Mirror neurons, specialized brain cells called mirror neurons, enable humans to empathize with others' emotions. When we witness someone As is pain or sorrow, mirror neurons can evoke similar emotional responses in our own brains. Empathetic sorrow. Feeling sorrow for others' pain is a testament to our empathetic abilities, rooted in neural processes that help us connect emotionally with fellow human beings. 5. Neurological disorders and altered emotional states. Neurological disorders. Neuropathic pain. Conditions like neuropathy result from nerve damage and can cause chronic pain. The nervous system dysfunction amplifies pain signals, leading to ongoing physical and emotional suffering. Psychiatric orders. Neurological disorders such as depression, anxiety, and post traumatic stress disorders (PTSD) involve dysregulation of neurotransmitters and neural circuits, contributing to persistent sorrow and emotional pain. Therapeutic approaches. Medications, analgesics, antidepressants, and anxiolytics target neurotransmitter imbalances, helping manage both physical pain and emotional stress. Psychotherapies, therapy, therapeutic approaches like cognitive behavioral therapy (CBT) help individuals cope with emotional suffering, teaching effective strategies to manage negative thought patterns and emotions. Understanding the intricate interplay between biology, emotions, and the nervous system provides valuable insights into the experience of pain and sorrow. This knowledge informs the development of holistic approaches to pain management and mental health care, focusing on both the physical and emotional dimensions of human suffering. Controlling pain and sorrow through spiritual sadhanas. Spiritual practices or sadhanas have been observed to have a significant impact on an individual's experience of pain and sorrow. While the effects can vary from person to person, there are several mechanisms through which spiritual practices can help in controlling these emotions. 1. Mind body connection, relaxation response, meditation, and deep breathing. Practices such as meditation, mindfulness, and pranayama, breath control, activate the relaxation response. This response helps reduce stress hormones, alleviate muscle tension, and promote a sense of calm, which can alleviate both physical pain and emotional strength. Changing perception, acceptance, and letting go. Mindfulness Mindfulness practices encourage acceptance of the present moment without judgment. By accepting pain or sorrow as they are, individuals can reduce resistance, which often intensifies suffering. Acceptance allows for a more peaceful state of mind, making the experience more manageable. De- Detachment. Spiritual teachings often emphasize detachment from material possessions and egoic desires. By reducing attachment, individuals can mitigate the emotional impact of loss, disappointment, and unfulfilled expectations, leading to reduced sorrow. Enhancing resilience, developing inner strength, self reflection. Spiritual practices often involve self inquiry and self reflection. Through introspection, individuals can develop a deeper understanding of their emotions and the underlying causes of pain and sorrow. This self-awareness can empower individuals to cope more effectively. Faith and hope. Spiritual beliefs provide a sense of purpose, faith, and hope. Believing in higher power, destiny, or the transient nature of life can provide comfort and perspective during times of pain and sorrow, enhancing emotional resilience, cultivating compassion and love, service to others, selfless service, seva, engaging in acts of kindness and service to others cultivates a sense of purpose and connection. Focusing on the well being of others can shift the focus away from personal pain and sorrow, creating a positive impact on one's emotional state. Compassion practices. Spiritual traditions often include compassion based practices which promote feelings of love and empathy. Cultivating compassion for oneself and others can often the emotional impact of pain and sorrow. 5. Transcending the ego. Ego dissolution. Self transcendence. Spiritual practices aim to transcend the egoic self and connect with a higher universal consciousness, realizing the interconnectedness of all beings and recognizing the impermanence of individual experiences can diminish the ego's identification with pain and sorrow, leading to a sense of detachment, sense of community and sport. Satsang community of truth. Sportive community, being part of a spiritual community, provides a support system. Sharing experiences, prayers, and positive energy within a community can alleviate feelings of isolation, providing solace during times of pain and sorrow. Altered perception of time, present moment awareness, living in the now. Spiritual practices often emphasize the importance of the present moment. By focusing on the now, individuals can reduce anxiety about the future or rumination about the past, providing relief from emotional distress. It's important to note that the effectiveness of spiritual practices in managing pain and sorrow can vary among individuals. Additionally, while spiritual practices can be powerful complements to medical and psychological interventions, individuals experiencing chronic pain or clinical depression should seek appropriate medical and professional help alongside their spiritual practices. Cultivating gratitude and contentment. Gratitude practices. Gratitude journaling. Regularly expressing gratitude for positive aspects of life can shift focus away from pain and sorrow. It encourages a more optimistic outlook, enhancing emotional well being. Contentment. Spiritual teachings often emphasize contentment with what one has. Cultivating contentment reduces the tendency to compare oneself with others, mitigating feelings of inadequacy or lack which can contribute to sorrow. Healing trauma and emotional wounds. Inner healing, forgiveness. Forgiving oneself and others is a common theme in spiritual practices. Letting go of grudges and resentment can facilitate emotional healing, allowing individuals to move beyond past traumas and pain. Inner child work. Many spiritual traditions incorporate practices that involve healing the wounded inner child. Addressing past emotional wounds can lead to profound healing and a reduction in ongoing emotional pain, enhancing self compassion, loving kindness meditation, metta, loving kindness meditation. This practice involves sending love and well wishes to oneself and others, cultivating self compassion and extending it to others promotes a sense of interconnectedness, reducing feelings of isolation and sorrow. Mind body integration, Tai Chi. Yoga and Tai Chi. These practices combine physical postures with breath control and meditation. They enhance body awareness, reduce muscle tension, and promote relaxation, making them effective in managing both physical pain and emotional stress. Developing resilience and acceptance. Resilience building. Stoicism and acceptance. Spiritual teachings from various traditions such as Stoicism emphasize the importance of accepting what cannot be changed. Developing resilience through acceptance helps individuals navigate difficult situations with equanimity, reducing the impact of sorrow. Artistic expression and creativity. Creative outlets, art, music, and dance. Engaging in creative pursuits provides an outlet for expressing emotions. Artistic expression can serve as a form of therapy, allowing individuals to process pain and sorrow creatively and symbolically. Rituals and ceremonies, sacred rituals, ceremonies and rituals. Participating in religious or spiritual rituals can provide a sense of comfort and connection to something larger than oneself. Rituals often involve symbolic actions that can provide solace and meaning during times of pain and grief. Cultivating presence and awareness, presence in nature. Nature connection. Spending time in nature fosters a sense of awe and reverence. Connecting with the natural world enhances mindfulness and presence, reducing the mental chatter and emotional turbulence related to pain and sorrow. Conclusion. Spiritual sadhanas encompass a wide array of practice that address the holistic well-being of individuals by addressing the emotional, psychological, and spiritual dimensions of pain and sorrow. These practices offer coping mechanisms, inner strength, and a sense of meaning and purpose. Integrating spiritual practices with a sportive community and professional guidance where needed can create a comprehensive approach to managing and alleviating the impact of pain and sorrow in one's life. Who feels pain and sorrow according to Advaita Vedanta? In Advaita Vedanta, a non dualistic school of Hindu philosophy, the ultimate reality or Brahma is considered to be without attributes, formless and beyond all distinctions, including the distinction between the individual self, Atma, and Brahma. According to Advaita Vedanta, the individual self is not separate from Brahma but is ultimately identical with it. From the perspective of Advaita Vedanta, the feeling of pain or any other experience occurs within the realm of Maya, which is the illusory and changing world of appearances. The individual or jiva experiences pain due to ignorance, avidya of its true nature, which is identical to Brahma. This ignorance leads to the identification with the body, mind, and ego, resulting in experience of pleasure and pain. In summary, according to Advaita Vedanta, the individual self jiva feels pain due to ignorance and identification with the temporary and illusory aspects of reality. When one realizes their true nature as Brahma, the sense of individuality and the experience of pain dissolve in the understanding of ultimate non-duality. In Advaita Vedanta, the concept of individuality and the experience of pain are understood as manifestations of the mind and ego, which are products of ignorance avidya. The mind and ego create a sense of separation between the individual and the ultimate reality, leading to feelings of pleasure, pain, desire, and suffering. According to Advaita Vedanta, the process of self realization involves understanding the illusory nature of the individual self and recognizing the underlying unity of all existence, which is Brahma. Through knowledge, jnana, and spiritual practice, sadhana, individuals can overcome ignorance and realize their true nature as the eternal, unchanging, and blissful Brahma. In the state of enlightenment, moksha, one realizes the oneness of the individual self, Atma, and Brahma, transcending the cycle of birth and death, samsara, and attaining liberation from the suffering of the material world. In this state, the individual no longer experiences pain or any other dualistic emotions because they have transcended the limitations of the mind, ego, and body. It is important to note that the concepts and teachings of Advaita Vedanta can be complex and may require in depth study and contemplation to fully grasp. Different Advaita Vedanta scholars and teachers may have slightly different interpretations, but the core idea remains the same. The individual's sense of separateness and the experience of pain are rooted in ignorance and can be transcended through spiritual realization and self awareness. Illusion, Maya. Advaita Vedanta posits that the world as we perceive it is an illusion. Maya veils the true nature of reality, making the individual perceive multiplicity and duality where there is ultimately unity. The world that we see and experience is temporary and ever changing, while the ultimate reality, Brahma, is changeless and eternal. Self, Atma, and Brahma. Advaita Vedanta teaches that Atma, the individual self, is not different from Brahma, the ultimate reality. The individual self is often described as a drop in the ocean of Brahma. Just as a drop of water in the ocean shares the same essence as the entire ocean, the individual self shares the same essence as Brahma. The goal of life, according to Advaita Vedanta, is to realize this fundamental oneness. 3. Concept of ahankara, ego. The ego or ahankara is the sense of individuality that arises when one identifies with the body, mind, and personality. It is the ego that creates the illusion of separateness from the rest of existence. Advaita Vedanta teaches that the ego is a false identification and realizing its illusory nature is essential for spiritual liberation. Jnana, knowledge, and bhakti, devotion. Advaita Vedanta acknowledges different paths to spiritual realization. The path of Jnana Yoga emphasizes knowledge and wisdom. Through self-inquiry and discernment, individuals come to understand the nature of reality and self, leading to liberation. Bhakti Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, on the other hand, emphasizes devotion and love for the divine. Practitioners of Bhakti Yoga surrender their ego to a chosen deity or form of the divine, recognizing the unity between the individual soul and the divine. 5. Liberation Moksha. Liberation or moksha in Advaita Vedanta is the state of realizing one's true nature as Brahma. It is freedom from the cycle of birth and death, samsara, and the end of individual suffering. In this state, the individual transcends all dualities, including pleasure and pain, and experiences external bliss, knowledge, and existence. Advaita Vedanta provides a profound framework for understanding the nature of reality and the self, emphasizing the importance of self realization and spiritual awakening to overcome the illusion of individuality and the experience of pain and suffering. Neti Neti. Note this, note this. Advaita Vedanta uses the method of neti neti to discern the true nature of reality. Practitioners are encouraged to negate all that is impermanent and changing, including the body, mind, emotions, and thoughts, in order to realize the unchanging reality. Brahma, by understanding what one is not, the aspirant can arrive at the realization of what they truly are, duality and non-duality. Advaita Vedanta emphasizes the concept of non-duality. Advaita accord asserting that the ultimate reality is beyond all dualities such as good and bad, pleasure and pain, existence and non-existence. Duality arises due to ignorance, and realizing non-duality is the key to liberation. Meditation and self-inquiry. Meditation plays a crucial role in Advaita Vedanta practices. Practitioners often engage in self-inquiry, Atam Vichara, by asking the question, "Who am I?" and contemplating the nature of the self. By investigating the source of I or the ego, individuals can realize the true self, which is beyond the ego and the mind. 4. Scriptural study. Advaita Vedanta places significant importance on studying sacred texts, especially the Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, and the Brahma Sutras. These texts contain profound philosophical insights and are considered authoritative sources of knowledge on the nature of reality and self. Guru and Satsang. The guidance of a qualified guru, spiritual teacher, is highly valued in Advaita Vedanta. A guru helps the disciple navigate the spiritual path, provides teaching, and imparts direct spiritual experiences. Satsang, which means association with the truth, refers to the gathering of seekers in the presence of a realized teacher, where spiritual teachings and insights are shared. Illusory nature of the world. Advaita Vedanta teaches that the world is not as real as it appears. It is considered an illusion, a superimposition on the ultimate reality, Brahma. Understanding the illusory nature of the world is essential for realizing the true nature of existence. 7. Liberation in life, Jivan Mukti. Advaita Vedanta holds that one can attain liberation while living Jivan Mukti. A Jivan Mukta is a liberated being who is free from ignorance and egoic attachments. Even while living in the physical body, such individuals continue to engage in worldly activities but remain untouched by the dualities of the world. These practices and concepts in Advaita Vedanta are aimed at facilitating the direct experience of non dual awareness, leading to self realization and liberation from the cycle of birth and death. The path involves a deep understanding of one's true nature, contemplative practices, and a profound shift in consciousness from identification with the ego to identification with the ultimate reality Brahma. Some more aspects and nuances of Advaita Vedanta. Cosmic unity. Advaita Vedanta emphasizes the unity of all existence. It posits that there is only one ultimate reality, Brahma, and everything in the universe, animate and inanimate, is interconnected and essentially the same at the fundamental level. This interconnectedness is often expressed through the famous statement Tattvam Asi, which translates to you are that. Role of karma. While Advaita Vedanta teaches the ultimate reality of non duality, it also acknowledges the law of karma, which states that every action has consequences. According to this belief, individuals experience the results of their actions, which can influence their life circumstances and spiritual progress. However, the realization of one's true nature, self realization, is considered the ultimate means to transcend the cycle of karma. 3. Ajatavada, doctrine of non origination. Advaita Vedanta subscribes to the doctrine of Ajatavada, which means the belief in the non origination of the universe. It asserts that the universe was never created and therefore never truly exists. All phenomena, including the apparent creation and destruction of the world, are ultimately illusory and unreal from the standpoint of absolute truth. 4. Vivartavada, theory of apparent modification. Advaita Vedanta explains the world through the concept of Vivartavada, which suggests that the world is an apparent modification or transformation of the ultimate reality Brahma. It appears as diverse and tangible due to Maya, the power of illusion, but in truth it undergoes no real change. Silence as a teaching. According Advaita Vedanta recognizes the limitations of language and conceptual understanding in describing the ultimate reality. Therefore, silence is sometimes considered a powerful method of communication between a guru and a disciple. In this context, silence signifies the direct transmission of knowledge beyond words. 6. Integration with daily life. Advaita Vedanta emphasizes the integration of spiritual wisdom into everyday life. A realized individual, while understanding the illusory nature of the world, continues to participate in worldly activities with a sense of detachment and equanimity. Compassion, humility, and selflessness are considered natural expressions of a mind rooted in non dual awareness. 7. Post enlightenment sadhana. Even after the realization of one's true nature, some Advaita Vedanta traditions acknowledge the importance of continued spiritual practice. This practice is not to attain liberation but to allow the individual to function harmoniously in the world and to help others on their spiritual paths. These aspects highlights the depth and richness of Advaita Vedanta philosophy and its holistic approach to understanding the nature of reality, the self, and the path to spiritual liberation. At this point, I complete this video, and this topic will continue in the video number 2 on pain and sorrow and how pain and sorrow can be eliminated. Thank you for watching this video. Namaskar, my dear friends. Thank you.